Your time is up.
We need to talk about time. What is time? For such a common thing, it is surprisingly difficult to understand. Now, I'm not going to discuss what time is, as in the theory that it's the fourth dimension. I'm going to leave that stuff to Einstein and Minkowski. However, I am discussing the idea of time itself. Mankind has been obsessing with the idea of time for all time. We have assigned labels to describe certain amount of time, like hours, years, minutes, or zeptoseconds, which are a trillionth of a billionth of a second long. Why science? Just pick any source of media and you will find references to time. Or time will be woven into the narrative itself. Do you like myths? How about the Epic of Gilgamesh from ancient Mesopotamia? A story about a giant who was obsessed with living forever, living beyond time. Or how about Kronos, a titan who was the father of the main Greek gods, who was a literal embodiment of time. If video games are more your style, you have Ocarina of Time, Hat in Time, Chrono Trigger, Life is Strange, just to name a few. And as for movies, you have Doctor Who, Back to the Future, Freebirds, Terminator, The Atom Project, Forever Young, The Chronicles of Narnia, and the list goes on and on. While the use of time varies between the different entries of media, one thing stays the same, which is control over time, or using time to your advantage. Time travel is the most common, with these movies and games mentioned previously using that as their premise. However, with some of the others, something more interesting is involved. Take the Narnia series for starters. Despite traveling in the wardrobe for days, hours, or years, almost no time passes at all in the real world. If, however, they go back in much later, a tremendous amount of time passes. Or with Forever Young, a pilot is cryogenically frozen after an accident until science can save him. For him, he has consciously traveled through time. And with Life is Strange, the entire game revolves around going back in time to save people from dangerous situations. However, if you look at all the different examples, can you notice the other similarity between all of them? The answer is that all examples show use of time. The reality is that this is impossible. So why does humanity continue to come back to this idea? This really annoys me because ultimately time is the one that controls us, but humans want it to believe that it's the other way around. Let's change that, shall we? Time is all around us. People that have a job earn money in a couple different ways. You could be paid by the hour, and so must clock in and clock out. If paid a salary, you still have to work a certain amount of hours to be able to get that money. Or if you're a YouTuber, then money comes through time put into the project, watch hours, retention time, and a couple other factors. Time is used to organize when things happen, like appointments or deadlines for things. Or how about school? Almost everyone has felt time slow to a crawl during those boring hours or years. Time is also a thief. Nostalgia is one of the biggest emotions that we have. If you think back to a time many years ago, you often find cherished memories. On the internet, there have been a lot of videos, pictures, music, and other media that have been created because of that nostalgia, especially scary media. The definition of nostalgia, according to the Oxford Dictionary, is a sentimental longing or wish for the past, typically for a period of time or place with happy personal associations. If we could just go back in time, we wouldn't have even as close to the same amount of endearment. It's only because time has left behind those things that we miss them. However, sometimes we also assist time in its thefts. Have you ever opened YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok, and you start scrolling and then suddenly, what? It's been 2 hours already? Technology is a wonderful thing, and it makes our lives better in so many ways. After all, in just the last century, we have gone from mounted telephones that have very limited functionality to a piece of glass 1/4 of an inch thick, or about 7 millimeters for metric system users, with artificial intelligence built in, and with the capabilities of a calculator, camera, calendar, computer, and many other things that don't start with a C. The problem is that, once again, we are trying to control time. As technology has sped up, so has our lack of patience with it. Back in the 1990s, when the internet was still young, websites' load times could take between 2 and 5 minutes. Nowadays, if something takes longer than 5 seconds, we groan in frustration. In fact, according to Google statistics, if a website doesn't load within 3 seconds, around 53% of people will abandon the site. This is incredibly pathetic to me, but I have personally catered myself to that fact. Sadly, we cannot stop or control the speed in which technology advances, and we cannot travel back in time, despite what movies and video games are wanting us to believe. However, I would like to propose something. What if we stopped thinking of time as a force, object, or nuisance, but instead as a currency? Now, you may be thinking, wow, that's real smart. How am I supposed to get rich off of an uncontrollable currency? Well, let me elaborate. Time may not be able to be controlled, but it can still be used wisely. Instead of always worrying about trying to get something done on time, just stop and take a break. Build bonds and friendships with people around you. Or learn something new. If you were scrolling through YouTube and randomly stumbled upon this video, after this is finished, I would urge you to shut off your device and go take a walk. And yes, Lincoln, I am talking to you. Enjoy the beauty of the world and the people around you, because we can't ever know just how long we have. Maybe I can't travel through time, and maybe I can't get lost places and people back, but I think I would like to create new memories to look back upon. After all, the upside of nostalgia is that we can look more favorably upon the past and use that to look to the future. Old friends can be joyfully embraced, and returning to old places can be wonderful. But I also know that I can create new friends and new experiences to then later look back upon and appreciate. Time is a currency, so go spend it wisely. Thanks for watching. I'm going to be creating a few more videos in this type of style, so if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. The box on the left is a video that YouTube algorithm has decided that you might enjoy, so click to further enjoy. Also, Lincoln, I am not kidding. Turn off your screen right now.